In this video, I want to share some more problems regarding the mathematical concept of exchange rates and best buys. So let's jump straight into the problem solving. I'll skip problems 5 and 6 and go straight to 7, which has two parts here. So the problem says, let's read the problem. The first part here is a person Asif is going on a holiday to Turkey. The exchange rate is £1 equals 3.5601 lira. So Asif changes 550 pounds to lira. So work out how many lira he should get. Give your answer in the nearest lira. So I'll not use calculator and try to guess work the amount, okay, to the nearest possible answer. So the information given here is £1 is 3.56 lira. Okay, so if I use my pen tool, £1, let's say this, equals 3.5, let's say 3.5 lira, let's say L. Okay, so 3.5 lira. So Asif changes 550 pounds to lira. So if £1 is 3.5 lira, then what is 550 pound to the nearest lira? Okay, so what is 550 pound? So if I use the unitary method, I'll get the answer. So I want to calculate it with hand and not with calculator to just guesswork the nearest value. So what is 550 multiplied by 3.5? So if I multiply 550 with 3 or 55, let's say 55 with 3 is what? 5 3s are 15 and 1, so it's 165. Okay, if 55 multiplied by 3 is 165 and 55 multiplied by half or 0.5 is what? Half of 55, which is 27.5, right? So this is half of 55. So if I add 165 with 27.5, I get what? 192.5, somewhat like this, right? So if 55 multiplied by 3.5 is 192.5, what is 550 multiplied by 3.5? Just add an extra 0 before the dot, which is 1920.5. so 550 pounds is approximately 1920.5 lira or close to 2000 lira. Okay, so this is the first part. And what is the second part requiring? So Asif sees a pair of shoes in Turkey. So the shoes cost 210 lira. So Asif does not have a calculator, so he uses £2 equals 7 lira to work out the approximate cost of the shoes in pounds. So use £2 equals 7 lira to show that the approximate cost of the shoes is 60 pounds. So in the information given here is £2 equals 7 lira. So the exchange rate is £2 equals 7 lira. I use this formula to show the approximate cost of the shoes is 60 pounds. So a shoe costs 210 lira. Okay, so we can also write this as what? 7 lira equals 2 pounds. If I use the unitary method, what do I get? If 7 lira is 2 pounds, then 1 lira is what? 1 lira is what? 2 by 7 pounds. Okay, so what is given? 210 lira. Okay, so 210 lira is what? 2 by 7 multiplied by 210. So if I divide 210 by 7, we get what? 30. So 30 multiplied by 2 is 60. Approximately the cost is what? 60 pounds. 210 lira is 60 pounds. The cost of shoe is what? 60 pound approximately. So this is what was required in the second part of the problem. I'll now focus on problem number 9. So let's read the problem. So it says a new model locomotive costs $64. So calculate the cost of the locomotive in rupees when the exchange rate is 1 rupee equals $0.0154. So the exchange rate is given between rupees and dollars. So you have to give the answer correct to the nearest 10 rupees. So let's use this information, and I won't use any calculator, do approximation technique. So if I use my pen tool, as you can see, the exchange rate given is 1 rupee is $0.0154. So 1 rupees, let's say R, is 0.0154. So this is in dollars. Okay, so this is the exchange rate between rupees and dollars. So if 1 rupee is $0.0154, I can also write it in this way, 0.01. I'm using the unitary method here. So $0.0154 is this one. I'm just flipping it left and right. So this is 1 rupees. Okay, I just wrote it, just this one in left and this left hand side in right hand side. Okay, so $0.0154 is 1 rupee. So what is $1? Or we can write it as in this way. If I take out the point and use it, let's say here 1.5, so I have to divide it by 100 because I'm skipping 2 spaces or two digits. I'm taking 2 digits right, so I have to divide by 100. So 1.5 divided by 100 is dollars is 1 rupees. So what is $1? $1 is 100. If I use the unitary method here, so it's 100 divided by 1.54. I can use just 5. Okay, so this is 1.5 100 divided by 1.5 rupees. So this is $1. Okay, so if $1 is 100 divided by 1.5 rupees, then what is $64? $64 is what? 100 divided by 1.5 multiplied by 64. This can also be written as what? 6400 divided by 1.5. Now what is required here is I have to give the answer correct to the nearest 10 rupees. So in order to use the or give the answer in the nearest 10, I'll assume 6400 as 6000, because 6000 can be easily divided by 1.5. So if I assume it as 6000, what will be the result? 6000 divided by 1.5. So 15 4 is 60. So 1.6000 divided by 1.5 would be what? 4000, right? So 4000 rupees is the approximate value to the nearest 10 rupees is what will cost. What will be the cost or the locomotive cost in rupees? The answer would be what? 4000 rupees approximately. Now I'll focus on problem number 11. So let's read the problem. It says the Muller family are on a holiday in New Zealand. So they change some euros and receive 1962 New Zealand dollars. So the exchange rate given here is 1 pound equals 1.635 or 1 not pound but 1 euros is equal to 1.635 New Zealand dollars. Okay, so 1 euros is 1.635 New Zealand dollars. So calculate the number of euros they change. So the information given here is, if I use my pen tool, 1 euros, let's say this is what? 1.635 New Zealand dollars. Okay, let's say this is New Zealand dollars. So 1 euros, this is the information given. 1 euros is 1.635 New Zealand dollars. So I can also write it in this way. The 1.635 New Zealand dollars is 1 euros. Okay, let's say this. So 1 euros. So you have to calculate the number of euros they change. So the receive amount is 1962 or 1962 New Zealand dollars. So what is 1962 New Zealand dollars? What is 1962 New Zealand dollars is how many euros? This should be what? if I use the unitary method, it would be what? 1 by 1.635 multiplied by 1962. So this is the calculation. This is the number of euros that is required. So if I use my pen tool, so 1962 New Zealand dollars divided by 1.635. I'm using calculator here because there is no restriction given. So this is 1200, right? So this is 1200 euros. 1200 euros. That is the amount that is required. This is the answer that is required in the question. The number of euros they change. So this is the number of euros, 1200 euros that they change. I hope by now you already have a good grasp on the topic of exchange rates and best buys. So in the next video, I'll come up with another topic, very interesting one. So stay tuned for that.